Congressman, you continue to be alarmed by the national debt, which breached $26 trillion this week. Congressman, how can we keep going on this way?
Well, you really can't keep going on this way. It's unsustainable, James T. I mean, and here's the way to think of it. In the last 63 days, we've increased the national debt more than $2 trillion in the last 63 days. And if nothing changes, if we're staying on the same trajectory we're on, by the end of this fiscal year, we'll be over $28 trillion, maybe pushing $29 trillion in national debt, because our structural deficit this year is going to reach somewhere around $6 trillion. In other words, we will have spent $6 trillion more than we brought in revenue. That's what you got going on.
Here's what I don't understand, Congressman. I mean, you look at the numbers. I can look at the numbers. I mean, almost anybody can look at these numbers and realize that we can't keep moving decimal points. And I have to believe that world banks and other countries are looking at this and saying the same thing. How long can we have faith in the dollar if we keep devaluing it like this?
Well, you can't. I mean, that's part of the problem. So there's all kinds of ramifications. First of all, China owns a third of our debt. They're not an economic a competitor. They're an economic adversary. They are an adversary that wants to take over our position as the hegemon in the world. So that's a problem. Then you have the inflationary pressure that comes when you devalue your currency. And so that becomes a problem. And the weird thing is, other nations are having even worse problems. So they're causing some deflationary pressure by trying to take our currency and buying that up. So all these things go to give you a really and truly complex but very dangerous and precarious economic situation.
If President Trump wins a second term, let me rephrase that. When President Trump wins a second term, do you think it will be part of his agenda? I've been hearing it whispered out there that he's going to really begin to take on the spending problem that Washington, D.C. has and this debt issue.
Yeah, I believe so. I've talked to folks close to him. I've mentioned it to him myself. He wants to bring it under control. And I'm just going to tell you, whoever is president, and we all pray we need to work like crazy as Donald J. Trump, but whoever is president, it won't matter whether you want to confront it or not. The ramifications of this kind of national debt, where the gross national debt will exceed the gross domestic product by about 110%. When that happens, you must confront it. You will have to face the ramifications of it.
We got Congressman Andy Biggs in the center ring of the conservative circus. Let me change gears here. As the days go by, the deep state is being more exposed, and now we're hearing that indictments may be on their way, and that the people we've been seeing on TV, the key players in this coup, James Comey, Peter I.B. Strzok, Lisa Page, Clapper, all of these people, they're going to be, they might have to, face the music. Is that true?
Well, I hear those rumors too. But I've heard them on and off for a long time. I understand the Durham report is getting close to coming out. They've told me that for 6 months at least. And when that happens, there's going to be some indictments probably. You look at people like Comey and Clapper and Brennan and Strzok and Page and Andy McCabe, some forced out for lying, others, Comey admitting that he leaked something. It was illegal for him to leak that thing. So you begin looking at this. There are a whole host of people, Bill Priestep, who was there as well, all of this host of people that should be indicted and prosecuted, in my opinion. The question is, will Bill Barr, the Attorney General, and Durham, his Assistant U.S. Attorney, will they do that? Will they prosecute them? I hope they do.
I hope they do, but the fact that it's all coming out, I'm trying to take some gratification where we can. I'm glad that all of this stuff is being exposed. And I look at what happened with the deep state folks, and I'm wondering, Congressman, is the same thing going on with our generals? I mean, you have called for General Milley to resign.
Yeah.
We've been hearing from a lot of generals lately who are coming out against Trump and criticizing him. What is going on? What is in the water in D.C. that generals are doing this?
Well, I mean, these people's true colors are coming out. So you have Espers. Espers should be fired. Milley should be fired. Mattis, terrible insubordination on the part of these people. That's what you have. And it is utterly, utterly unacceptable. President Trump's the commander-in-chief. If you have a agreement with him, if there's honor in you, you don't keep serving, you resign. That's what you would do. You would resign and say, I have a fundamental philosophical difference with this person as commander-in-chief, I resign. They don't want to do that. They want to get paid, and they want to be free to criticize. Well, guess what? When you're in the military service, there are some curbs placed on you with regard to your commander-in-chief and actually in the chain of command. Otherwise, you can never command and have control and be successful in the military. And so these guys need to go. They need to go.
They need to go. I would be clobbered, Congressman, by a lot of folks if I don't ask you if you're supporting Sylvia Allen in her reelection bid.
I am supporting Sylvia, yes.
Okay, I just wanted to get that out. There's a controversy going on back here. Just wanted to get you on record with that. Congressman Andy Biggs, enjoy seeing you on Fox News, but every time we see you up there, I want you to know that my producer's like, well, what's he doing? Why is he not in the center ring? Doesn't he have to go into the center ring before he goes on Fox News? That's where we are with this.
Well, all right. Well, then we need to do it more often, obviously, then.
Oh, absolutely. Congressman Andy Biggs, thank you very much for joining us.